Hello, hey, how you doing? We're back with another video. And today, instead of going over all of my 5-star reads this year, because I give out 5 stars like candy sometimes, I just can't help it. I don't look too deep into the book. If I really enjoyed it and made me feel something, then it's probably getting 5 stars, if not close to it. So instead, I thought I would do my top 5 stars, and that way maybe this video won't be so damn long. This year so far I've read 60 books. I'm currently reading book 5 of Zodiac Academy, so I'm hoping I finish that before the end of the year. So then that way it would be 61 books, I think. I have been not keeping up with my Goodreads or my Fable account on how many books I've been reading and pages and etc. so on. My reading goal this year I set at 50 books, so I did surpass it. Shout out, never thought that would happen. I read so many books in the winter time, mainly in January. I think I read close to like 13 books, which is crazy. So that being said, I don't know what I'm gonna set my goal at next year. What should it be? What do you think? Maybe I'll do 65. I don't know. I was in a serious obsession during January. I was like super into fantasy because I had just read the Empyrean series in November. So I was just like dove deep in December and January into fantasy books, and I was just eating them up like crazy. So I think maybe I'll do 65. That might change, but right now sitting here, I'm gonna say I think my goal for 2025 will be 65 books. That seems pretty fair, even though I didn't get to 65 this year. So, but I did have a little bit of a rut there for a couple months. So I think I could do 65. That sounds good. So that's what we're gonna go with. Anyways, now that we got that out of the way, I think we should just get right into it so that this video will not be forever long. Let's get into my top 5 stars for 2024. Okay, we're gonna start with number 5, which would be the last out of the 5 stars. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of like have a little ranking system. So this one is going to be at the bottom. Okay, and I also have an honorable mention, but we'll do that after. Okay, so the 5th book of my 5 stars list would be Zodiac Academy number 3. Now this is a tough one because I have not finished the series yet, but this one was my favorite that I've read this year out of the series. I reviewed number 2 and I said that, you know, Zodiac Academy had sunk its claws into me, but this was the one where it was like, oh, we're getting serious here. Like we're getting the characters, we're getting the plot, we're getting the idea of things, we're understanding things, you know, we're seeing where things are going. And I finished this book in less than 24 hours. Mind you, I have a job, okay? So I don't normally have that much time to do things, okay? So for me to finish this in 24 hours means I was glued. I was glued to this book. It was that good. And the ending of this book is insane, okay? And I'm sure I'm gonna be really thrown for a loop in some of these other books, but I couldn't believe the ending to this book. I was like, shut up. For the 3rd book in the series, like, whoo, damn, okay, I see where this is going, you know what I mean? It was really good. I can't wait to continue the series. I mean, I'm on book 5, halfway through it. I'm really liking book 5, I think. So that's why the Zodiac Academy, The Reckoning, book number 3, gets 5th on the top 5 stars of 2024. Number 4 on my top 5 stars of the year is going to be In the Likely Event by Rebecca Yarros. This number 3 and number 4 are really, really close, okay? They're really close. But I'm going to go ahead with this one as number 4. It was so good. I did not expect to like feel the way that I did about this book. It brought me to tears, okay? And I don't really cry in romance books. Fantasy books, yes. Romance books, not so much. This one brought me to tears. It was really damn heartfelt. Like, oh my gosh, the writing in this is immaculate. Immaculate. So good. I highly recommend it. If you're a romance reader and you don't think that you would be into military romance, I didn't really think either. You know, they can be probably cheesy sometimes, but this one was just so well thought out, so well explained. The stories are so good. And then when they get to meet each other, it's even better. You know, they throughout the years, they meet each other at different times, but the time is never right. You know, they obviously have a connection, but it's never right for them. So when they come together in present day in Afghanistan, shit has hit the fan, okay? And they're kind of going through their past stories with each other. And it's just so good. I really recommend this if you're a romance reader or if you're interested in romance. This you will absolutely love. I don't doubt that. Now for the third spot. This book really stuck out to me throughout this entire year this year. It's something that I do think about here and there. Like, that is why it got the third spot, is because I think about this one a little bit more than I think about in the likely event. So I had to put it at 3, but again, 3 and 4 are really close on this list. They're practically tied. That being said, the third book on my top 5 stars for 2024 is Reckless by Elsie Silver. Okay, some people might be shocked, but you know what? I don't know if my TikTok is just curated to me, like in my beliefs and biases, but a lot of people favorite this book out of the entire series. Well, a lot of people like Cade too, but you know, I'm not a Cade girly. I'm not. I'm a Theo girly. I am a Theo girly. And I will literally ride that horse until I'm in the ground. Like, this book is so unreal. Are you kidding me? It's a pregnancy trope. Yep. And you're probably like, oh, hell no. Oh, no. Oh, no. This book would change your mind about pregnancy tropes, okay? It is done so well. Not cringy, not shitty, just so damn good. And you will not only be obsessed with Theo, but you will be wishing for a man like him, because damn, so good. Winter did not like her. That is the female main character, Winter. Yes, I also don't really care for the season either, but going into this book and leading up to this book, so like in the second and third book, you kind of are starting to feel like a bit of a redemption maybe for Winter, but I wasn't feeling it. And I was like, I am going to hate this book. I went into this book thinking I am going to hate this book. I already know it and I want to get it over with. I would have to say right now, Chestnut Springs series in particular is my favorite series of hers. I'm currently reading the Rose Hill series, and then I'm also reading the Gold Rush Ranch series as well. And I love all of the books, absolutely love them. But this series is just unbeatable so far. In my review for this book, I also said that this was a beautiful story, but it was also heartbreaking in the best way possible. All in all, absolutely love this book. Can't recommend it enough. You think you're gonna freaking hate it, and you are not. Let me tell you, I would be surprised if you hated this book. If it's not your number 1 in the series, it's going to be your number 2. Let me just put that out there right now, and I'm gonna stand on that, okay? So that is why Reckless by Elsie Silver got the number 3 spot on my top 5 stars of 2024. The second book on my top 5 stars for 2024 is going to be The Ever King. Oh, that's my ring light. Hey, watch out, girl. I feel like people might not agree with me on this one, but I absolutely loved Ever King, and I was shocked. And I think that's why it's so high up on my list, is because I go into these books, like, I mean, I bought it on Kindle, which means I was not thinking I was going to be impressed. And I absolutely was. So I think also the shock factor of like me going into a book thinking like, this is just for like a leisure, quick read, whatever, like in between kind of book. No, absolutely loved it. Ate it up. I did not continue with the series because the first 2 books are about the same 2 main characters, and then the next books are not. But I heard that some people liked the later books even better than the first 2, which is really a big claim. So I might have to continue with this series, but I'm giving it a little bit of a rest right now. I'm keeping that in the back of my head. The first thing that I said on my review for this book is spectacular. Give me 14 of them. Yeah, that's how I felt about this book. It was so damn good. I said that I went into this book not expecting much, pretty much thinking I'm not gonna like it, and that's because this is a Viking and then like sea serpent fae type book, and I had never read a book with those mythical creatures, whatever you want to call it, I don't know, but I had never read a book like that, and I was like pirate and this and the Viking and that and the magic and all of the above. Okay, I was like, I don't think so. I was wrong. I noted that I really enjoyed that everybody's power is different, and it was a little bit confusing to me at first, but I thought it was really cool how each character has their own individual type of magic. I also really loved like the world building. So good. I mean, I had the whole picture in my head, and that is what really puts a book at the top of my list, is the world building in it. Every single book on this list, I saw everything so clearly. I can see what the characters look like. I can see what the setting looks like. I can see what their houses look like. I can see it all because that's how well written it is and how descriptive everything is. I absolutely love that, and that goes for every book on this list. So descriptive, so well written. I see it all in my head. I wouldn't call this enemies to lovers. I would call it more forbidden love, because they always were meant to be together. Like from the very beginning, like when they were kids, okay, they were meant to be together, but they cannot be together. So that gives me more forbidden love than enemies to lovers. Either way, okay? Absolutely, positively loved it. Loved their story, loved them together, and it was so nice to know that like they were gonna be together, period. Okay, sometimes the back and forth is too much, let me tell you, because I'm reading Zodiac Academy right now. Okay, I think I know it's a little bit too much, the back and forth. Let's take it down a notch. Okay, so this one's a little bit more secure with the romance. We love that. Okay, we eat that up. That being said, that's why it deserves the #2 spot on my top 5-star books of 2024. If you kept up with me in my reading at all this year, like if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you'll know my #1 book of the year, because one of my TikToks actually kind of like got a little bit of likes on it from everybody thinking that it was so funny, hilarious, because I was bawling my eyes out like a crazy person. Yep, and there could only be one book on this universe that could do that to me, or any of you probably, and that would be Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas, my girl, SJM. Yup, that's right. The biggest book I read this year. I'm pretty sure it's almost 1,000 pages. Yeah. Obviously, my top series is Throne of Glass, and it will always be. I don't think that will change. It was Empyrean series, and that's because Empyrean series is what introduced me to the fantasy world. That still holds a special place in my heart, but it had to go down to #2 because of this series, mainly because of this book. I mean, well, I love Queen of Shadows too. That one's really damn good, but this one is just unmatched. I mean, come on. You end the book and you're sitting there and it's like, those people were your friends. You were living in that world. You fought the battles with them. You know each and every single one of the characters. It's like you are there with them. You were in that with them. And at the end of the book, you are just beside yourself because the journey's over. It's like a chapter in your life has ended and you don't get to get that back. It's just memories from now. It's crazy. It's crazy to think that a book can make you feel that way, and that is what this book did to me. Oh my gosh. I mean, the entire series did it to me, but this book just like closing it all off, like, whoo! Like on the second half of the book, I don't think I stopped crying. It was constant, and I have video proof, okay? It was just constant, just, you know, there's no recovering from this book. You will never not think about it. You will never not miss it. You're done. You read the little last word and close the book, and that's it. It's all memories. Like, you do not get to read this for the first time again. It's one of those series that you're like, I could read it again and I will cry again and I will feel the same again, but I will never be able to read this for the first time again. And that experience is just absolutely unreal. If you haven't read the series already, I'm surprised and I'm shocked, but you need to read it if you haven't read it already. Even if you're not a fantasy person, I'm telling you right now. Sarah J. Maas literally took her two hands and took my heart and just right down the middle. You know what I mean? Like, she wasn't playing around. And then at the end, she's like, I will just barely stitch you back up, you know? And that's what she did. And I respect her for it. I love her for it. The last sentence of my review for this is unlike anything I've ever read, and I still stand by that. It is so well written. The detail, the world building, come on now. I mean, unreal series, and this book is the cherry on top. And that is why it is number one on my top 5 5-star books for 2024. Now, I said there was an honorable mention, and I meant it, okay? I had to do an honorable mention because this book, it was so good. Like, the writing was so good, the plot, like, the concept of the book was unlike anything I've ever read and really reminded me of the movie 13 Going on 30. My honorable mention goes to The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston or Poston. I don't know how to say her last name. This book was so good. Again, this was supposed to be one of those leisurely in between. I think I had just finished the Throne of Glass series, so I was just trying to get like some leisurely decompress read in, and I was again shocked to absolutely love this book. I mean, God, just again, the detail of everything in this one is kind of one of those that could have went bad because you could have gotten easily confused and kind of lost track of like where we're at, but it is so good, so well written. The characters are written so well. The setting is written so well. So this is a time travel apartment, and oh, the concept is so good. It's her aunt's apartment who passed away. She's upset, she's sad, and she's in the apartment. It's present day. She leaves, she comes back, and it's in the past where this guy moves in to her aunt's apartment. She pretty much is a roommate with this guy, okay? And this is the past. It is crazy. Like I said, it could get really confusing really easily, but the way that this is written, I mean, she did so damn well. This book deals with grief, overcoming, change in your life and really finding who you are. It's one of those books where it's romance, yeah, but there's way more to it than that, and you can find yourself relating with a lot of the writing in here. Also, there was some really good funny witty parts that just keeps your feet kicking and your giggle going. Like, it was just all around such a good, like, it's a feel good, and this is really a good feel good. Like, you need to pick me up, I would recommend this, and I think this would be an amazing movie to hit the TV screens, honestly. That concludes my top 5 5-star books of 2024. Oh my God, I had such a good year of reading. I would say 2024 is my first real year of reading and enjoying it and knowing that I'm going to be reading some good books. So I'm so excited for 2025. I have so many more authors to get to know. I have so many more favorite authors that I have on my list. We have so many good upcoming books next year. I mean, I am so ready for 2025. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I had so much fun showing you guys these books and reliving like my reviews and the things that I said about them and how I felt about them. Oh my gosh. I know I will be rereading a lot of these books that were on my top 5 today. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.